Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back. I'm FK+IK and this time we are going to complete some of the parts here of this hand rig. So basically last time I was reassessing the mesh and I didn't complete it. However, I was talking about making some sort of FK+IK chains, I mean some mechanism chains, which would actually be the control chains for these fingers, starting from this one. So there's the wrist bone here, would be the hand bone for the deformation of the wrist region, and then there is this for the hand, and then the other phalanx for the rest of the fingers. Okay, so the rest position for both mesh and the deform bones are here. This is not a deform bone though, this should go to the other layer. And so let's start it right now. I want that the chain, the other chain, has exact same size, length, so they would be exactly the same bones, except instead of deformed bones such as these ones, they would be the bones for the IK chain, and they would be controllable, posable bones. So now I just have this deformed bones chain, and what I can do here is some sort of auto IK with this option here. I don't want to build IK rig just for that. And so my strategy is, for the hand at least, I'm gonna use this. And now because it works, and there are some settings here I was preparing, but they won't work very well. Like I cannot bend this easily on the other side because this start position. So that's why, because I want to preserve this rest position, I thought that I could make a straight mechanism of control bones for the IK chain, and these bones will actually bone constrain these ones, the deformed ones. And actually the deformed ones, they are connected, parented connected, but I will instead parent each one of them offset to the other layer of the IK chain bones, so that there's another advantage to this, is that I figured out that to preserve volume as the fingers rotate, you see this would happen either if the rest position for the finger was that, or if it was, or as it is now, it is here, because this is a 90 degrees rotation for the pivoting for the deformed bone, and this usually cause artifacts because of the skinning algorithms, right? And in this case I'm using, how to say, dual quaternion skinning. Yes, of course, if I used this other skinning algorithm, I'm using currently I'm on linear blend skinning, which is the default one, and there's all this volume loss. However, if we switch, but I can't do that because all the rest of the rig is many other fundamental parts of the rig, they have very large rotations, like the arm, the thigh, and what happens there is that with dual quaternion skinning, you should know, I didn't know, but it's in the documentation, the dual quaternion skinning, although it's better for volume preservation, not for any reason, the name of the option is preserve volume, there's warping of the mesh when the rotation reaches like 180, negative 180 degrees. So in this case, it would be the rest position is here. As I reach this, you see the warp, so that is dual quaternion skinning. Very, very bad. It could work for the fingers, they probably won't do that, and nor that. So maybe there's a way to tweak this thing, but I don't need this, the whole armature, except for some other bone, maybe it's linear blend skinning, but yes, there is a way to tweak that, but I'm not sure it is very simple. Just gonna make a simple test here, but I don't really know what I'm doing this, but one way that I learned that can tweak that, but I don't know the whole consequence, is the armature bone constraint. So for example, if I added an armature bone constraint, let's say to this thumb bone, and then I target perhaps some bone that would be, for example, why not this one? Now for some reason the bones involved are using preserve volume, apparently. If this is correct, of course, what this bone constraint does is create some it's like similar to a child of bone constraint. The bones will have a medium correspondent distance between themselves. So for example, yeah, it's hard to give an example here, but you see, as I pose this bone, it will start to interfere with that. It's really as if this bone started to have influence from that one, in at least in terms of location. Rotation, I'm not sure, but for some reason, okay, I cannot rotate on the z-axis to make the, yeah, so alright, so this I don't know really, but I know this can apply the preserve. And another way to do it, but it's way more complicated and probably not a good idea, we can sure have more than one armature modifier for the same mesh, but focusing on different vertex groups. It can really wreak havoc the rig. It's very easy to, because especially if you have blended waves, and then yeah, but that can also be, so you have one armature with preserved volume, the other without armature modifier, I mean. So, and the curious thing is that the armature bone constraint, it's armature, right? So that's why it's similar as a constraint. It's similar to the object modifier, just as certain object modifiers are somewhat shrink. We have a shrink wrap object modifier, but we also have a shrink wrap object constraint, shrink wrap constraint. And constraints are similar to bone constraints, so that means we have also a shrink wrap bone constraint. So just as an example, so yeah, the armature modifier, although the icon is different, don't know why is that different. I see this little guy here, and then for the armature bone constraint, yeah, it looks like it's a different icon for some reason. Doesn't matter. Let's but it had similar features. That's why we can adjust the preserved volume, but I don't know exactly what it does. And there's a strange thing about that, but actually it makes sense, that a bone that has got this armature bone constraint, you can't parent it to the rest of the rig, like even not the root bone. We can, but if we do so, that bone will move, it will stack transforms in a double way, so it will move like double. We can't parent it to anything apparently. That is part of the normal rig, so it's an exceptional bond constraint. But what interests me of it is particularly this idea of swapping the skinning algorithm on localized, on chosen deformed bones. So that's interesting to me. I'll still have to make further investigation how to use it in interesting ways. So I'm not using this here, but it could solve some, it will get those things better. So what I was doing is that talk about is that there is this maintain volume bond constraint, which I can, if we drive it like here, according to the rotation, so as the bones start to get some volume loss here, then here we could drive it to grow. But the problem is, because these bones, these deformed bones, they are chained, they are parented in a, doesn't matter if offset or connected, the other ones will inherit, of course, the scaling of the previous bone. So that's why this ugly thing is happening. And of course, there is this possibility of relations here. Yes, there is, we can inherit scale, no, not rotation, inherit, I never use this, but inherit full is by default is full, right? Inherit known, well, it's not, doesn't seem to be working as expected. Average, okay, so not even this for some reason don't seem to be working properly. I really don't know why, or maybe it was working and I didn't. Okay, so let's see again. Okay, so you see it's inheriting, and then relations, inherit scale known, inherit scale known. Okay, it works. Inherit scale, well, this won't do nothing because this is the one suffering the original. So we can use that, but then, oh, we can drive that too. Okay, so this is not we can drive this. Is that true? Yeah, we can drive this thing. So actually this is not so bad. We could use that, but I have a better idea, I think. But this could work. So this is curious, because in the case I would like to change the scale of I don't know, the armature, then these won't follow, because the armature, they won't inherit their own object scaling, if I'm not wrong. Nor for example a scaling of the root bone, for example. Well, let's assume I would want to scale the whole character, the armature and the mesh with that, right? So yeah, so that's why I'll have to make this toggle with that driver, and then just to counter these things. So I think it's a good alternative. Knowing this is actually very interesting, because then whenever this could be an easy fix, we can also have the backup of making it switchable, right, with driver. So very cool. However, some other stuff here are not drivable. Like this, the connected one is unfortunately is not drivable. It's for internal use and can be edited. Although we can, we cannot drive the parent. This can, with scripting, I think, can be achieved. Alright, so, and I think some add-ons, including Rigify add-on, is able to do scripting on there. Alright, I don't need this so far, so my idea is just to disconnect those bones and really clear their parents, and there instead the deformed bones for the fingers will be parented, each one to their respective armature bone. So let's start this armature thing at once. I'll pick these three and duplicate. Now I will change the name of them, so this will be bones. Instead of def, they will be called control bones. Okay, yes. So of course now they are on some, we need to separate their layers, otherwise this will become a mess. So I'll start moving this. Yes, I have a control layer here. And of course now the idea, yeah, let's make them smaller or larger. Well, for now larger. Alright. B-bone scale, right? This property here, transform scale B-bone. And so this is edit mode. Alright, let's do the same for these three. Then move already to the other. Then what I need to do here is to get the name will change the names all at once. Alright, then here duplicate and move, and duplicate and move. Now we go back here. Oh, this one also, let's take advantage and do it right now. Then I can totally already make a copy of them. Let's, well, what I'm doing this, so I just parent connected like that, same as, oh, it's parented to the wrong one. Okay, so it's parent to the deformed bone, which is here on this tip. Oh, I forgot these ones. Okay, so Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. Now I hold Alt and Shift at the same time. What would be the, probably this with the longer name, right? The larger number, because they were made later. So we'll move these three to here. I hope they are correct. Then I can hide the tip bones, which are minor deformed bones, but it's like the hand bones and some helper bones. They are all, I'm calling them tip bones. Although I have a helper bone thing. Actually, I could make these all into same thing. Could make sense, but yeah, because the fact that many of the tip bones, they are actually helper bones, so I need to, maybe I can merge these two layers, bone layers, and simplify my organization. But the fingers, they might not be actually tip bones anymore. They could be, just go to the deform bone layer. So I could do this now, yeah. So here are the tip bones. And let's move these to, will that move the ones from the other side? I'm not sure. I think no, not. And so maybe we'll need to yeah, so what are those things? Why I'm lacking other bones here? Okay, let's take this and move to that def bone layer. Okay, this is the wrist bone, this is fine. And I'm missing some bones there. Maybe looks like some bones have disappeared. For the left hand, this is trouble. Not a grave issue, but strange anyways. Death. Oh no, they are here. They are here. So what happened to them? I don't know. They are stacking. I have moved them together perhaps, so yeah, I will have to make some differentiation. This is really confusing because they, let's see. Yeah, okay, I don't bother this side yet. This is, let's fix this, then I just have to symmetrize this properly, right? But something seems to be very wrong there. I don't know when this could have happened. Let's go on the, let's see, like control chain. Lots of things are wrong indeed. So this should have didn't move to here. Probably I forgot to select. So the 0, 0, 1 are the real deformed ones. This is okay, this is right. This 0, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, and 4. Okay, so these are correct. Let's just symmetrize this just in case, and then let's go here. Let's hide this. Actually, let's make change to all these b-bone size. After I make this correct, this is just for basic differentiation. Then let's change these bone groups colors. So as control bones, they'd be blue. And also, are they deformed bones? Yes, not anymore, all of them. What about these ones? These are the specialized ones. So okay, now I'm gonna parent connected. All right, parent connected. I need a new one. Let's parent connected, and let's, yeah, this is correct, and let's just align here. They all have the same size. Now these I can play with their probably will give them some how do you say, custom shape widget, and also a new color, maybe just to make their differentiation even better. The others stay blue because they are posable individually. They will be, because then we have some, so I'm not making them into mechanism bones, and this could be, yeah, they could get this green color, teal color, some sort of master. And okay, so now what's happening is that those bones are not properly parented. So let's make this, unfortunately this is 1x1 case. What are these parent to? I think they are parent to the wrist bone, and for now this should be okay. Although I have made a mechanism bone, but maybe this is not required. Yeah, let's delete this thing. This was for leverage features, like, as if, you know, the the tip of the toe or the toes roll that allows the inverse kinematic, the IK bone constraint of the leg to elevate the leg from the rotation of the, how do you say, the potato of the that flash ball. There are a name for that in English. The footballs, the belly of the foot near the big toe, as these pivots. So we could do this with the hand, but we don't see that very often. That could be interesting. For example, the character is pushing the wall or walking on its hands. I'd like to attempt this at some point, but it's not priority now. So okay, parenting connected. So parenting connected, parenting connected, parenting connected. Okay, let's do. Okay, let's start. Let's do it this way. Is this properly the relation that we wanted? No, not the. Why this is parent to master shoulder? Elbow pull. Oh no, this is nothing. Nothing. Okay, def arm wrist left. This is correct. Okay, so same parenting as the deformed bones. That's right. Let's do here. Connected, connected, connected. I think I cannot automate this thing. There's no, unless if I started rigging this in a different way. Then connected, already connected. All right, and then the last one, and then there's the naming. Okay, and that has been completed too. What about these ones? Completed. All right, so always double check. So here, or often double check. Then now they are no more deformed bones. I have, hold on, I should get some selection sets here. Yes, but this was for the def bone one. I don't need this to see this anymore, so select here. Let's add even these other bones here. Let's hide that layer. And now with these things connected, let's make sure this first of all these will become control to master. And these, if they have any depth, this arm thing is just for clarification. It's a way to have my vertex groups organized in a logic way. So when I sort by name and at any time, you see, def only for the, in principle, this is only for the deformed bones, because the control bones won't have in principle vertex groups here, so they don't need a listing usually in the vertex groups panel. And so you see def arm, oh, this is the arm, they all stick together, so I don't have really to care much about the other things. Then def head, everything related to the head including facial rig, and everything related to leg, def leg, and then def spine. Actually this could be def torso, because spine is, for me at least, it'd be more like the spine rig itself. It's not 100% the same thing as the torso, but yeah, it's just how do you say, it's preference. And then mask modifier, so these are for the object modifiers. And then the hide are for management. So I have vertex groups. For example, I've made these ones for the hand as I was working the mesh this way. So it is like I have this hide hand, oh yeah, hide hand palm. So if I select this one, there we go. Okay, it includes the thumb, that's true. I could fix this right now because deselect, no, actually thumb select, then remove, and yeah, okay, so now the palm is, yeah, probably I need some fixing there, revision, but that's about it. So these are just for managing wave painting, you know, many other things. False masking, right? They don't use mask modifiers, they are just for hiding stuff in another way, in a more direct way. So here there are a lot of things to do. I haven't renamed them properly yet, so some still have the name of def, so let's pick whatever def they have. Don't remember. Okay, all of them select, so def transform in control, and voila. And then these are master, that's fine. Let's see these numbers. This is a bit more complicated to fix. I think these won't numerize properly, so set names, strip characters, digits, and if I strip digit they will reset. Yeah, then, but not the way I wanted. And so this will be, yeah, this needs to be 3, this needs to be 2, and this needs to be 0, 0, 1. They have 2 points even. So the numbering is a bit tricky. I don't have a solution for. I'm concerned why that I do not have a 4th phalanx for the thumb, but maybe that's okay for rigging. In principle, even two could be enough on more stylized characters, but I think that at least a 3rd. A 4th might be exaggeration, right, for this character. It already works kind of fine right now. So yeah, the numbers. If I strip the digits, we know what happens. However, if I add digits, set name suffix name 001. Can we take off punctuation? Yes. So what about this? 001, 002, 00. Yes, found a way. Yeah, so that's never done this one. I need to record this process. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's great. And then here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally. Now let's go to the next stage of this. They are rotated in many ways. Okay, let's go on the other one now. And of course, I want to make sure that on edit mode I have the proper selection. Hold on. Assign. Here, yes, only these ones. Now I want to make the parenting, right? So this will be a bit more complicated because now they are all in So usually I make the deformed bones larger than the... Okay, so that will be it for the deformed bones. Then we return here and we pick this and I turn their bone scale smaller except for these ones. These actually I could really bring them to another layer, the master layer, although there should be another differentiation yet. And then let's save because yeah, this is progress. The annoying thing is that I have now two chains to resolve. What I could do is pose them simultaneously. I think that could work, but I need to bone constrain these ones. Actually, no, I need to unparent all of this. Is that safe? Well, maybe not these ones. About the scaling, inherit scaling. No, that doesn't scale. So, alright, so these would, let's assume these would stay parented to the wrist. I'm afraid if they are not parented to the wrist bone, and despite they would have copy transforms bone constraint towards the other, the control chain, their equivalent, they will not move properly. However, for all the others, we can just clear parent, or instead parent each of them to there will be children, right? Child of the control bone. So I don't like very much the idea to have unparented bones in the rig. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna just do this sort of thing. And maybe the parenting would be just enough for no, wait, it's parented though to no, this one to this one, keep offset. Okay, maybe only the parent is enough. Yeah, so maybe no need of copy transforms. So then the bigger connects. Alright, so why this is happening? It looks like yeah, I lost this parenting was disconnected, so simple thing. So I pick this here. All right, the parenting seems to do enough, so we're making progress here. Then here again, larger than the smaller, keep offset. The larger than the smaller, keep offset. Larger, smaller, keep offset. Larger, smaller, keep offset. And the last one, last finger. Alright, let's pause this thing and see if everything... Okay, now I don't want to look at the deform... Of course, I will have two. Yeah, I think I've done things right. So instead, let's just do this and see if everything moves in a correspondent way. If nothing crazy goes on. Yeah, the other hand, it's completely screwed up because of some of their bones. Something happened to the... Alright, so it seems to be working. Now let's pick all that and just do some symmetrization. Let's hope this solves the other side. Maybe it did, because alright, so now we can start playing with the actual more sophisticated technique, which involves that first I don't want to be seeing these bones there, so I don't need the deform bones here. Maybe these ones will be okay to see right now, because we're gonna fix this. So I need these ones, and I will rotate them on their origin. Okay, so this is a problem on edit mode. Not a problem, it's just something that I don't really catch, why it's so hard that I need to do this in order to have this simple rotation. Okay, now I have a better idea what I'm doing. This would... okay, just align. Problems. Align. Must do one by one. Don't want to lose their length. Yes, then let's pick... yeah, this can be that. Okay, so it must be done for all of them. Like, what about this? Okay, so this works faster. We're aligning and straightening up all the FK chains. They are totally stretched, and now I can make sure that the roles also would... yes, even the roles, they are respecting the active one, right? So this is certain, but let's... okay, you see nothing changed on the bone rolls because the alignment... yeah, exactly, because this alignment... Control Alt A, transform, align bones, Control Alt A, this does the job. Okay, so we see now that we need some adjustments on these orientations, and also I want to... yes, for the thumb too it should be required. So don't worry, this is the rest position for the IK chain. That means that in principle... okay, so there something already strange is happening. Why the deformed bones are not willing to follow? Okay, of course they need bone constraints, so let's start making that. So it's just a simple copy transforms, and these copy transforms is the total copy transforms, like world space replace. That's exactly that. I'm not sure if... yeah, this is faster. I don't want to keep retargeting, prefer like that. Then this goes there, this goes there. Something... yeah, something. No, doing to the wrong order. All right, so yeah, all wrong, all wrong. So hold on. This is correct. This is correct. So I started doing wrong at this point. So here, all right. This other transformation is from something else. So now you see the rest pose start to get good. Copy transforms, copy transforms, copy transforms, copy transforms. These transformations are for... Yeah, so I'm not dealing with this yet. Maybe it will be useful. So maybe I should hide this for now. Well, it doesn't affect anything, I guess. Maintain volume, of course, this is we're gonna use in a moment. I hope this doesn't make inheritance indirectly, because no, it won't, because these are subdivisions. Yeah, they are parent. This, the control here, is parent to this, and this is parent, the form here is parent to this, but they split. They don't follow the same so this has no relation directly to or indirectly to this one. This means that this maintain scale now shouldn't affect wait, why something is failing here? Oh, maybe, okay, you see there, it's not making the other bone inherit. Yeah, it needs to be placed below. So these transforms actually, yeah, the bad thing is that they are for the deform. Yeah, so I'll have to find a way to bring these to the other chain if I want to keep them, or I'll have to remake them. This will be a bit annoying because now they already are having this. Oh no, they have because they were duplicated. Okay, this will spare me time if I wanted to conserve this, but the deformed bones, they certainly don't need this anymore. So let's pick the deformed bones, all of them. Not all of them, just the ones that I haven't worked on yet. Then what we do, we clear the, I think it's Ctrl-Alt-C for me, clear pose constraints. Alright, this makes this faster, and for this I have to do it manually. So here, 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 and here. Only the control bones require this thing. And so now let's get back. Copy transforms, okay, and the maintain volume. The maintain volume apparently requires to be placed after, otherwise it will be neutralized by the copy scale that would be inside copy transforms, right? So, and then we're gonna drive this anyway, so for now we hide it. So copy transforms, copy transforms, copy transforms. Then we're gonna make a... No, I won't be able to duplicate these two because each of them have a different target of copy transforms. Yeah, so and because I'll do that later, yeah, annoying thing. Let's do again, continue this work here, except that now this is, let's do the inverse this time. copy transforms, copy transforms, copy transforms, this one here and then here, copy transforms, copy transforms, copy transforms, copy transforms. And there we go. We start to be able to work on this hand in the rest position for the def bones and the mesh, and rest position for the different rest position for these bones and the the control bones there, while this should be equal. And then rest pose for everything. This is the conventional rest pose. Of course, if I take off the bone constraints, immediately this rest pose changes, right? But it's not the objective. So I'm calling rest pose for the mesh what is, of course, already affected by whatever thing that is happening to the rig in an active way. So enable bone constraints, drivers, even object modifiers can be part of, and so of the rest pose, right? So here is what the straight organization of the bones with the I key can help to achieve. And then if I pick all these simultaneously, whoa, what was that? I think some alright, this looks like something broke on the rig. Okay, so to solve this, I think I'll have to use something. This would be even a case to yeah, I believe I got some wrong bone constraint here. So transformation, copy transforms. This was inversed. Yeah, alright, so this is what happened. Mistake here. So that's why in this case no need to double check, because if something fails it will be brutal. Transformation, alright. Maintain volume, alright, the rest seems to be fine. Pose, alright, let's do it again. Alright, now it's working. Yes, this what's happening is because I didn't set up the a lot of details here to adjust. Even the mesh itself, I want to derotate it, but this can be avoided too. But here we've got inverse kinematics, and if I wanted, yeah, can also repose these bones individually, rotate without this. Yeah, and so this is a case where we use auto I key that is very practical, right? Yes, this bone has the deformed bones there have settings, but now I have to delete the settings for the deformed bones and just use them for yeah, so this is doubled because actually only, yeah, this is they were duplicated, right, the control chain. So what I'm gonna do is that first thing, since I already got this thing automated, I will just reset everything here, knowing that the default values here are this. So okay, that's correct. So this one is reset. Let's see, if I reset this, it goes there to 0. Don't know why that happens, if by default they are this. This is a pattern in Blender, by the way. It happens to Bendy Bones settings too. There are some settings which on pose mode it's always something that occurs on panels on pose mode actually, which their values sometimes are not 0, they are 1, or these angles. Okay, so then here again, is there some reset to default value? Reset, there's no other reset thing here. Yeah. And here reset this, there we go. And here too, reset all that. Okay, let's pick from somewhere else. Oh, here, so double checking. So everything there for this bone disappeared, those gizmos that we've seen before. Okay, properly reset. Just making sure these bones, this is not relevant, but good to keep organized. Just checking if those things, okay, those things don't have any value like that. What about these ones? Yes, these ones, yeah, I started to work on them, at least on the lock I key. Yeah, so the idea here, of course, is to lock any rotation that would make these fingers rotate other than their normal x-axis, right? So they rotate only like on I key, right? And also I probably have them locked here also, but since they are bone constraints, this is stuff to be developed not on these bones, right, but on the control bones, the control chain. So this means that I can totally unlock these bones here on their, even on their transforms, because we're not gonna be able to pose them anyways on. Okay, so why do I, oh, the master is here. Okay, master bone layer. Alright, so no need to show it. So I'm gonna pick these bones and I'm gonna look at their transforms. Let's enable all and disable all. This will mean that I can reset everything. And then here we cannot lock on edit mode. Let's reset for the master and control. Then let's see what else. Alright, so the copy transforms are fine. They're the just making sure I collapse this because this is basic. So basic that I don't need to be looking at. Whenever you open a bone, select a bone and have this panel, this tab our attention is dragged, at least for me, my attention is dragged to these things. But then if it's not really something that is relevant, that that we need editing all the time, this is not the sort of thing that needs editing, at least for this case, I think. So differently from this might be I leave it open, right? So this bone doesn't need this, I think. So this is more a thing of this one. And single axis, I don't really know those. What is the default here? Strict. Okay, so it's always 3 axis Y, and then this should be the thing that would need to be driven for this rig. And so owner space local. All right, so, or I could also change the influence here, right? But I will drive this one instead, because it's simpler. Otherwise I'll have to give a value here and then keep moving this. Let's leave it at 100 and just drive this one. I think this should be simpler. Then of course I didn't set the orientations and all that, so there are a lot of things that I should be able, yeah, it should be good that I fix those things before. So one thing that I can do that is really annoying me currently is this thing here. I think this is happening just because of the yeah, this is the straightforward hand. This is because of the, if I check my master bone, and this is, I'm not sure what will be the best idea here. It's just because this bone, they are parent, right? Actually, they are really facing, no, they are not facing straight forward. So alright, this means that I could already just do something like that. Alright, so now they are aligned. If they weren't to be straight, like I did for the foot, the feet bones here, these bones, then there is no need for these hands to be unaligned with, yeah. If it's not aligned with world space to start with, then it's completely unnecessary to not align them already. I don't see any reason now for it. But maybe I prefer this to be aligned, the master bone. So that is very simple to do. I just pick here and then whatever bone is already aligned and do yeah, whatever you see. That this one will be the active. Alright, so this is fixed. Maybe this helps in solving now this thing. Maybe after I fix here, I can redevelop this on the other sense. Oh yes, I could show you what was about this limit scales thing. Alright, so it is this thing. I can use I could give it to this bone instead, but whatever. So I have with the X scaling. This is a trick I've seen on a Deco tutorial. Then I've customized it in a way that I thought that could be better. So there's a limit scale here, and there are transformation bone constraint. That's what you've seen on the control bones there. These are I should not the case of presenting here exactly, but yeah, let's try to. It's a bit complicated to solve. Basically, there is a, because you see, there'll be a value of 1, but then I give it a minimum, for example, of 0.5 and a maximum of 1.5. It's like symmetric, right? yeah, it will be symmetric in terms of absolute values in relation to the 1, scale 1. And the fact that this is symmetrical would make the transformation bound constraint better to operate with, because then here it's important that this also be symmetrical. So the rotation of the y, no, this is map 2, sorry. The scaling of the target bone, which is the hand bone, which has this scale and with limits, so then I cannot do whatever I want. There's a limit to the x, although I'm not seeing it right in. For here it's extrapolating. Okay, this is the limit. All right, and one of the limits, global, yeah. All right, anyway, so we have something here, and then what happens is that okay, we take those same minimum and maximum for scaling, so very simple. This is local space. Then yeah, maybe this is extrapolate, not sure if that's the case. So, and then map 2, this is about the target, so this bone, I mean this is about the owner, so the owner bone, which is this one, the owner of the bone constraint transformation. And then what it does, I switch everything to y, because it's only the y scale of the target bone which counts for this particular transformation. So don't need to change here, but whatever, to organize. But it's the x, that rotation of this bone that I want to transform. So it's being symmetric here and here. Otherwise there would be some complications. It will become a bit quite more complicated. So maybe sometimes this symmetric is not what we want, but in many cases, in this case particularly, if we don't use, if you start to make this asymmetric, this will start to change yeah, it will adjust proportionally to some different rest poses, and this will start to be completely uninteresting for our original goal. So then if we maintain symmetric, then the zero is the zero, that like the middle point is the, it won't drag the middle point towards, like you see, this is a rest yeah, this is exactly, we can show right now. If whether I change here, you see that my rest, this is the rest pose, folks. It's already changing the rest pose because it's now being asymmetric. So it carries more weight, let's say waves, it waves towards the maximum rotation because it needs to maintain proportion. And same here, if we change here, we make this proportional adjustment settings, and then the system itself starts to we lose the symmetric, the center of symmetry, let's say like that. Yeah, so keep this symmetric so we respect the rest pose. And then that's it, before original, so that I can could be add perhaps. Then it means that despite those transforms, those bone constraints, I can still do this. Of course it will be harder to pose the other way around, but that's not what, right, if that's the case, just derotate and that's it, or clear the scale of that thing, and then we are back to Okay, so I think this is very fun rig. It's a bit complicated to solve. You see, we've been through many challenges already, but yeah, a good tutorial on this could make this simpler and accessible. It's at least intermediate rigging, but because of the features it offers and the way it is done, I believe this is already some sort of advanced rigging. It's not something so easy to reach, to understand. Fundamentally, it's simple, but to reach this stage, it requires a lot of understanding of rigging in Blender. Okay, so the thing that, where's those change of scale there? Not clear to me, but I think I'll give it a pause right now. So the next step for me would be to adjust the mesh. Is probably adjust good enough, although yes, no, it's not. There are things I should do on the mesh, some small tweaks, but this I don't need to stream. What I want to do is make the corrections to this positioning of both control and therefore bones on the rest position. Then once this is set, I must make sure that the alignments are correct for each chain on each finger, and then finally I need to make sure that the deformed bones, they would be they have the, no, sorry, not the deformed bones, these bones, they with the proper rolls, everything. I was already building that, but now I have to make adjustments to the bone rolls as the previous task. And then I need to readjust these things and give them these IK inverse kinematic settings for each of the control bones, the blue ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are similar, right? Once I fix one, it's more or less the same thing for the other equivalent on the other fingers. And then I must do this too for this. Make test of the rig, and then last thing, of course, would be the scaling, the limit scaling, in which I would be able to maintain volume bone constraint with where I will have to develop how to drive it according to the rotation. And so once I know the critical rotation which causes the loss of volume, then I should know how to trigger the driver properly, as it will grow. The driver will grow gradually, but maybe it won't be perfect, because you see here the joint is suffering a lot, and so here would create volume there where maybe it's not necessary. Same in here. So I'm not sure this will entirely will be a, yeah, so you see, even adding a lot of thing here, it doesn't really solve the loss of volume very well of the joint. So maybe this could be a more mesh topology challenge in part. This can help for sure, but then we don't have more options like to orient this scaling. Like we cannot make, oh, I want this. So this means that perhaps I have to scale this along with this. Let's see. Maintain volume, local space. Okay, all the rest is. Let's change here and see if single axis. What does that mean? Could that help in some sense. No, I don't see. So maybe this one needs to have some, but then everything changes, and if it's subtle, maybe it's feasible, but I don't like this idea. This will require slight experimentation. It's easy when the driver is set. We just copy paste the driver and make adjustments. It's a rotation of some bone on x-axis anyway, on a 90-degree, whatever, there's a formula. Yeah, so I don't like this idea, but it might be useful to tweak that volume loss. And then the other approach, of course, I've mentioned before, was if I had a way to use the armature deform, but I don't believe I have any solution for that currently. Yeah, so probably we'll have to avoid. So for now, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something with this presentation. And I'll be back with probably another type of challenge. Yes, there's something very interesting to show on the, the buttocks rig. I found a way to use the revolutionary wave mix. I've conceived a new way to use it on a rig of someone else's idea, where it will have an immediate positive impact. So I think I'll bring this next. See ya, folks. Happy blending. Take care.